Hello and welcome everyone to the moon. My name is Sithvan and this is the semi-final of the secondary bracket, so the final match in the secondary bracket. It's between the Heart Attack 2 by johno1928 and the PT2 SP launch protocol by Chrozayis. The winner of this match gets a chance to face off against the winner of the primary bracket in the finals, and the loser goes home. Let's begin. A lot of firepower coming out of the heart attack, but it took a hit somewhere critical from the launch protocol and is now very heavily damaged. In fact, I think it's too damaged. That was fast. Alright, let's restart and see if the heart attack perhaps does a little bit better. Let's see. There we go. Again, a lot of firepower coming out of the heart attack. And it takes a massive hit from something, presumably just the main gun. Now it's not dead yet, but it has lost its main gun and is now limited to firing missiles back at the launch protocol. The launch protocol, of course, is very heavily armored and doesn't care too much about that, but I don't think the launch protocol is capable of firing back. It's not turning its gun. And I don't see any missiles coming out of it. Yeah, you see that? There's EMP in these missiles. So what the heart attack now has to do is stay alive and try to beat down the launch protocol. Because one of the two is disabled, the other has a significant health lead, so that would be a draw. And then it would come down to aesthetics, which, I mean, I think I know which one's going to win that, but for a convincing victory, the heart attack should now try to destroy the launch protocol with missiles, and that's going to be easier said than done because of just how tanky this thing is. It's unfortunate that it lost its gun so easily, or probably it lost the local weapon controller. But the rest of the craft is very well armored, and those frags are doing virtually nothing to it. Huh? The heart attack should be careful. Might have flipped itself over there, and given what state it's currently in, some rough contact with the ground might just destroy the whole thing. It's giving chase. It looks like the launch protocol is running away. It's more like drifting away, to be honest. It's kind of flying, or at least it's not experiencing a whole lot of friction. Oh no, it is actually turning, so presumably it is still trying to drive towards the target, but it's not as well controlled as the heart attack, which seems to be actively trying to maintain distance and just generally be well behaved. Ideally for the heart attack, the launch protocol should now take an EMP missile to somewhere critical near the AI and die that way. But I'm not sure it's going to happen. And the heart attack has to be careful. It just took a little bit of damage, I think. just by maneuvering, or maybe it took one of its own missiles. It's also really not dealing a lot of damage to the launch protocol. Just look at it. Its gun might be out of action, but it has taken almost no damage since that happened. Meanwhile, the heart attack is also dealing a little bit of damage to itself. Again, it should be careful here, but I think if it continues at this rate, the timer is going to run out, and we'll have two vehicles that both have claim to a win. Those missiles are running out. But what's happening here? Well, the heart attack is still intact. It just did some weird maneuvers. But the launch protocol is also still intact. So the launch protocol has a really substantial health lead here. Whereas the heart attack is still capable of firing. And so this is technically a draw. Now, based on aesthetics, I would say it should go to the heart attack, which is very fancy. I guess I could show that after this match. In fact, I'll just pause the game just so you can have a look at why I think it's so fancy. But I mean, this thing doesn't look bad either. It's just, I think there's a bit more effort that's been put into the aesthetic of the heart attack. So I guess I'm going to give this round to the heart attack, just so that it's not a draw, but we will need to move to a third round anyway. So let's get it set up again. Start. This is what the heart attack looks like. I'll just show you the whole thing. This is the heart attack when it's not damaged. And this is the launch protocol. Anyway, this is round 3. Let's just see how they fight. Perhaps it won't come down to an aesthetic decision after all. The heart attack isn't taking anywhere near as much damage now. Hasn't lost its main turret, which really helps. The launch protocol is still firing this time. It hasn't lost its gun to EMP yet. I think it's still firing. Okay, it's not actually shooting. Oh, is its detection still working properly? That missile is really going nowhere, and it's not firing, it's just aiming. Ooh, that looked like it hurt. Yeah, the PT2SP is just continuing to take damage. And the heart attack seems to show no signs of stopping here, really. It's nearly got the health lead that it needs to win, and I don't see how the launch protocol is going to deal much damage to it any longer. Just wondering why that gun is not firing. really should be working, but it somehow isn't. Let's have a look at the heart attack. Just happily spamming missiles. Oh yeah, it is hitting itself, you see that? There comes the enemy EMP missile. Oh, that one looked like... Oh no, I think it got hit by an interceptor. This thing is fitted with interceptors. Look at all those missiles slamming into it. Launch protocol is not having a good day. But it is still firing. Maybe I can get one of the EMP missiles on target. I'm just not sure what the guidance system is. Maybe the loss of so much of the detection equipment is causing it to not hit the target. Yeah, that's really just going nowhere. The missile barrage from the heart attack seems to have stopped. Maybe it's out of ammunition. But I don't think it matters really. As long as it doesn't fall over and die. It's not doing so well on the stability front. Yeah, I guess it is out of materials and ammo. Steam jets are no longer keeping it upright. Speaking of no longer keeping it upright, there goes the launch protocol. It's really taking a lot of damage from fire at that angle. That is a fairly heavy weapon. I'm not sure how big those shells are. They can't be that big given how small the gun is, but they're certainly doing damage. And that's the end of the match. So congratulations to johno1928. The heart attack had to fight very hard for this one, but it managed. It managed to win. This time a bit more convincingly than last round, and is moving on to the finals where it will face the Doom Rover for the second time. Maybe this time it can defeat it, while the launch protocol is eliminated from the tournament. A great entry, very effective, also in this match, but ultimately not quite able to withstand the barrage of missiles and shells produced by the heart attack 2. So with that, I'll see you in the finals.